Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to the closing ceremony for the 6th Annual Second Life Birthday Celebration. I'm Phillip Linden, and I'm very pleased to introduce you to the founder of Second Life, Phillip Rosedale.
Hey, hi everybody. Thanks, Blondin. You know, Dusty Linden made a really good point to me after I spoke at the opening, which was that I sounded like I was sitting down because, in fact, in the real world I was sitting down. And she said, "You need to stand up when you're talking. You don't sound energetic enough." And I'm sort of standing up. But I didn't want to stand up. I'm sitting in our Battery Street, Main Second Life offices here in San Francisco, and so I look a little silly if I stand up, but I'll do it a little bit just for everybody, so you can all imagine me standing at my desk and raising my energy levels here. So thanks everybody who's here in this group of 4 Sims, and then of course everybody else who's listening to this, and everybody who frankly has come to the birthday celebration. Like I said at the beginning, it's just incredibly cool that we can have a celebration like this every year. This 6th year's celebration is in total usage, and in the area developed for the celebration around us here, the content is considerably larger than Second Life was over, I'm going to guess, almost like the first year of its existence. I wanted to pass along some stats for you guys. Pretty amazing. This is the total usage over this last week since we opened this thing. The total stats on people who've come to this celebration is there have been about 17,000. I'm reading these numbers from some data mining that I think Susan Linden did just recently. 17,712 visitors who spent 23,662 hours here in the Sims that are around us, which, if I get it correctly, I think there are 20 Sims that we're standing in right now. And the people who came to the celebration came from 140 different countries, which I think is the thing that I find most amazing, perhaps, about that. In fact, the area that we're standing in here, this set of Sims for this celebration is, as probably a couple of people here remember, larger than Second Life was when it launched. The entire world of Second Life was on 16 Sims. We had a little key, sort of a key-shaped island at the very beginning with 9 Sims, and then a little perturbance and another 4, and that was the entire world of Second Life. And so this celebration itself, in attendance and in acreage, is bigger than Second Life was when it started, which is amazing. I mean, it's just totally amazing. And obviously anybody who's looked around at the content here, like I was talking about at the opening, will be just blown away by the breadth and the sort of philosophies and just everything that you'll see wandering around here today. There have also been, just another amazing statistic I just saw, there have been something like 675 events that have gone on during this celebration, which again is probably more events than there were in Second Life, over the first 6 months or so. I was going to go back. It would be fun to know when the 17,712th person actually signed up for Second Life, but I can tell you that it was, well, it took a long time. I don't remember when it was, but I want to say it was, I don't know if anybody here can help me out, but I want to say it was like, God, it must have been close to a year or something after we actually launched. And so just incredible thing. There is also, I wanted to mention, there's a build, and it hasn't been attached yet, but there is a build coming from the Teen Grid. So the teenage users of Second Life have built a bunch of content for this celebration as well, and that is going to get transferred and attached to the main grid here momentarily, or I think we've been busy and it hasn't gotten done yet. In addition to that, this entire exhibit is going to be open for another week, so this sort of closing ceremony doesn't represent the delete point for any of this content. So feel free to tell your friends and come back and hang around and spend some more time here. We're gonna have this open again. in terms of different thoughts, I said a bunch at the opening, and I'm not going to say as much today. One thing that I was really moved by was that statistic that people came from 140 countries. I don't think I mentioned this a week ago, but there's an opportunity for connecting people across languages in Second Life that is just amazing. And one of the things I'm actually right now I'm actually using the Snow Globe 1.0 version of Second Life, which is our new. Myself and just a couple of people have been working on getting a version, an open source developed version of Second Life, a viewer, up on our download pages and being more actively developed, and trying to get some new, more experimental features coming from both the open source community and also from Second Life developers into a more rapidly iterating viewer. And I'm actually using that viewer right now when I'm talking to you. It's already got a number of people using it. One of the projects I was thinking would be really exciting, and I'm going to write that up and reach out to the community to see if we can work on getting it done, is the opportunity we have to automatically translate people's communications. Of course, many people here, many of the heavy content developers in Second Life, of course, like me, have these various universal translators that you can use to do chat translation to a number of different languages, and they vary, of course, in the way they work and which services they use. But I actually think that we're at a point where we really do need to just build this short text translation in automatically as a default feature of the experience that you have when you're in a virtual world. And I think that the fact that we can technologically achieve that nowadays, Google, for example, has in its Google Translate system a very, very good short phrase translator. The fact that technology is allowing us to do this now, it's just amazingly cool. We're going to be able to really start using virtual worlds to talk to people around the world that we would never have talked to otherwise, and I think that's just amazing. And so the fact that people came from 140 countries, I mean, look at think how cool it's going to be when we're able to, close to seamlessly communicate with people who don't speak in our primary or our only languages. So I think that's just great. The final thing that I'd like to say or re-say, and it attests, or it's attached to the billboard you see behind me here, is just a huge thank you to the many, many volunteers who have been the ones who made this birthday celebration happen. Beyond the content development that you see here, there are so many people, and they're listed. You can take a look on this board just behind me. Too many people for me to read all the names, but just a huge number of volunteers that helped bring together this whole event, doing everything from, donating their time to content development work to security. I mean, it's just just an incredible benefit to have so many people willing to come together and help us make something like this real. Indeed, I mean, it's really you guys who have made this celebration. Of course, that's one of the things that's so wonderful about Second Life, is that it really is all of ours. The SLCC, the community convention, which is happening here in a few weeks, or I think in a month or so, here in San Francisco this year, is another great example of just a completely driven by you event. That I'm excited to attend. But it's just so wonderful how, as the company, we don't need to, or and in fact shouldn't, do things like this. The fact that we can have so many volunteers and so many people actively doing everything from building the world to, in this case, exhibiting and celebrating it, is just, I don't know, one of the reasons why this is all so fun to work on. But so again, a huge thank you to all the volunteers. We could not have done that. Couldn't even begun to have done this without you. And I'm sure everybody that's had the experience of being here would join me in thanking you. So with that, I'm going to leave everybody to the celebrations, and thank you very much for having me today.